Welcome back to Brighter Rays. We are looking at Malachi 4, 1 through 6. Today we're in verse 1, actually. And will you welcome me when the fire is burning, when the fire burns? So the word behold, not the world, the word behold here brings with it a sense of certainty, of pointing to a thing that exists and is clearly seen. That this day is coming is emphatically declared, when in the second sentence, in Hebrew it says, and shall burn up them the day which is coming, declares the Lord of hosts. This day that is spoken of is a day coming that will be obvious. It's not an ordinary day, those that have come and gone, since God declared there was evening and morning the first day. This is a different day he's talking about. The day is described in two different ways for two different groups of people. The first is a description of what will happen to the arrogant and all evildoers. These people are the ones mentioned in chapter 3. And now we call the arrogant blessed. Evildoers not only prosper, but they put God to the test and they escape. The God of justice, whom they wondered where he was, will most assuredly come, and that day will be like a burning oven that will set them ablaze. They will be like stubble that is thrown into the fire. This is the sermon that John the Baptist preached in Matthew and Luke. Even now the axe is laid to the root of the trees. Every tree, therefore, that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. His winnowing fork is in his hand, and he will clear his threshing floor and gather his wheat into the barn, but the chaff, or the stubble, he will burn with unquenchable fire. John said that Jesus was the one that would cut down and throw the branches and stubble into the fire. In John chapter 15, Jesus used the same imagery when he said, if anyone does not abide in me, he's thrown away like a branch and withers, and the branches are gathered, thrown into the fire and burned. So fire is often used throughout the Bible as a picture of God's judgment. Not always, but quite often. As we've seen, the fire represents the unquenchable fire, or the lake of fire that burns perpetually for all eternity. Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities are a picture to us of the eternal fire of God's judgment. This is not the only judgment that is spoken of in this way. Jesus in Luke 12 says, I came to cast fire on the earth, and would that it were already kindled. Do you think that I have come to give peace on earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. This fire of judgment that Jesus would cast would cause division between his followers and the world. Again, God's judgment would show the distinction between the righteous and the wicked. So verse 1 is concerned about those that are proud and wicked, but what about those who aren't that way? What about those who are followers of Christ? Well, we find that in verses 2 and 3, which we'll look at next time.